What's going on YouTube? It's your boy Garrett here, and hopefully you can not hear the dryer going on in the background. I don't have my regular microphone with me today, so I'm doing it on my laptop. But anyway, I wanted to talk about the new HBO Watchmen series and just kind of give my thoughts and speculations on the upcoming show. So because this new show looks to be a continuation of the original Watchmen story, I am going to be getting into some heavy spoilers here. So if you haven't read the original Watchmen or haven't seen the 2009 Watchmen movie, then please stop the video now and go check that stuff out first. Anyway, so yes, this new series seems to be picking up some years after the original Watchmen story, which took place in an alternate 1985. We see Jeremy Irons as an old Ozymandias, which I'm excited about. So from what we can tell in this continuation, after the massive explosion that Ozymandias initiated in New York, instead of the truth getting out that he was behind the deaths of millions, the truth never surfaced, and no one ever found out that he did it. Now, the reason he did it, of course, was to make the divided countries around the world believe that some third-party group was attacking the Earth, and in order to defeat the mysterious threat, they would have to band together. Now, the character known as Rorschach was trying to blow the whistle on the whole thing, but he died at the end of the story and never got the chance. The only indication that the truth may somehow get out there was that Rorschach secretly submitted his journal detailing the entire experience he had up until he died to a newspaper, and the story ends on the question of whether or not that truth would be put out there. The indication I got from the trailer is that in this version of the continuation, the truth never got out. It never surfaced that Adrian Veidt, Ozymandias, was the one that destroyed Times Square, meaning that the world quite literally got better and improved thanks to the lie that was spun by the smartest man in the world. However, thanks to the presence of some Rorschach-inspired revolutionaries, or terrorists depending on the context I suppose, we can infer that maybe somehow the truth did get out. Because at the end of the original Watchmen story, Rorschach's journal was in the hands of a fat newsroom guy, and the indication was that he either read the journal and exposed the truth, or he put it back down in a pile with all the other submitted news stories. What I think happened is that guy just put the book down and it stayed in this unread pile for years and years and years, possibly being thrown out or generally misplaced and traveled around until the fateful day someone finally cracked it open and read it. Then, upon realizing what the journal is and who it belonged to, they realized the life they live, the earth where they experience all of life's happiest moments, was built and predicated on a lie. But not just any lie, a lie that aided in the orchestration of genocide. And to know that the motive behind said orchestration was all because the Earth on its own couldn't put petty squabbles aside, you better believe a revolution is coming. And that's what I think the group of Rorschach impersonators are. They're a group of people that want to bring down a society that grew from the ashes of the dead and glorifies the man who put it all in motion. So that's why I think the various individuals are going around blowing stuff up and causing general chaos. Now, the one person I'm very interested in is whoever this woman is in the hood going around beating people up. Because I don't remember a female black character from the original Watchmen outside of the wife of Malcolm Long. But as far as I know, they're both dead. My original thought was maybe she had something to do with Night Owl, because the place she grabs her costume from really reminds me of Night Owl's secret lair he had, but I don't think that's the case, and I don't think she's a new character, possibly someone who spawned from the wrath of this Rorschach extremist group. Just based on a few of the clips in the trailer, I may be jumping the gun, but I'm going to go ahead and guess that her husband was a detective of sorts, and this extremist group murdered him, and now she's going on her own crusade, not realizing that she may stumble onto the truth as well, and then may be confronted with the dilemma of either exacting her revenge and suppressing the truth, or doing the right thing and exposing the lie. Again, that's all just speculation. I have no idea how significant of a role she'll play, but I am very curious about Lori Uspechik. I could be butchering that because I believe it's Slavic. I could be wrong, but the second iteration of the Silk Spectre, she played a major role in uncovering the truth behind who was killing the Earth's superheroes in the original Watchmen story, which ultimately led to the heroes finding Ozymandias and which of course led up to the big explosion. Now the crazy thing is that when that initially happened, all the other superheroes except for Rorschach decided that the world would be better off not knowing the truth. Not only because the world really did seem like it would be better off, but because of just how wild and nuts things would get if the public ever found out the secret. So now years later, just based on the one expression she gives in the trailer, it looks as though keeping the secret for so long has not been easy for her, and we would expect as much. Unless you're Adrian Veidt, the murderer himself, it would be taxing on someone to keep the real reason why so many people were killed hidden from everyone. That would mean whenever you meet someone that lost a family member or a friend in the explosion in New York, you have to look at them and hold back the urge to say your friend died because the United States and Russia couldn't stop playing tug of war. They died because one man took it upon himself to quote-unquote fix things. It would be hard. So it makes me wonder if maybe she's going to attempt to spill the beans or do something else that may make people see the truth. So really, the last thing I want to speculate on is the possible presence of Dr. Manhattan. With all the different clocks and watches and whatnot sprinkled throughout the trailer, how could you not draw attention to the big blue naked man? At the end of Watchmen, Dr. Manhattan essentially said screw the Earth. He left with the intention of never coming back and just kind of wanted to go out into the cosmos and really just do whatever it is he wanted. The real question I want to ask is, are they even going to bring Dr. Manhattan into the story at all? Just because Dr. Manhattan is so astronomically powerful that he could wipe out the Earth if he really wanted to. The only issue is that Dr. Manhattan only does things when he catches the urge to do them. So the challenge here is finding some meaningful way to bring him back into the story. Maybe he'd return if Laurie died, considering they were lovers at one point, and he did develop some feelings for her. However, at the same time, the writers could simply just have him return randomly just because he feels like it, just because he caught the notion to do so. Or they won't have him in the story at all. Honestly, I'd believe either, just because Dr. Manhattan is very popular among the Watchmen community, so it's likely he might make an appearance, but the reason they may not include him is really just because he's a character of such intense and immense power. It really would be hard to fit him into any story and make it work to where he doesn't just snap his fingers and every problem be okay. But I digress. Regardless of whether or not any of these ideas or theories are true, I'm just excited about this new Watchmen content. I love the world of Watchmen, and I just can't wait until the fall.